As a part of our soft skills development program, I would like to talk to you about communication skills. At the outset, there are two questions. What is communication? Why do we need to develop it? Well, what is communication? Let's be clear. Communication is not merely a cosmetic process. It's not the art of dressing better than saying something more gorgeously, more glamorously. Let's understand, communication is not merely or only an art of the marketing or selling things. This is what some people believe, that communication is an art of overwhelming, overpowering people, bamboozling people, and then finally sell. But let's remember, communication is not that. Communication is something very deep and profound. As we know, communication is an art of establishing messages. This is what is communication. Exchanging messages. But even it is not merely restricted to the cutting across of the messages. It's something deeper there also. It's an art of developing a bond between the speaker and the listener. The methods, the instruments are all part of that. The objective is to make or to create a rapport between the speaker and the listener and establish a trust, goodwill, and bond, an empathy between the speaker and the listener. So when the speaker is able to say something which the listener is able to understand completely, then communication happens. Similarly, when a listener is able to take the message fully, communication happens. That is, communication is not just related to the subject. It's not merely restricted to the matter that the speaker is speaking. It is a development of a bond, development of a trust between the two, between the speaker and his audience. When this happens, communication becomes complete. And then a power is released. This is the art of communication. Why do we need to develop it? Very simple. We need to develop it because it is an art of trust development. More people can trust you. More people can believe in you. And you can have an understanding with the people around you. And when there is a greater understanding, empathy, and rapport, life becomes more beautiful. This is the objective of communication. What is communication and why do we need to develop it? Therefore, to sum this up, communication is not just the art of sharing the messages. Communication is an art of sharing the souls or the hearts and the minds. Then, let's go further. What are the ways in which we communicate? There are three ways. The first one is language. Language is an important tool. We communicate through language. The second tool is body language. That is the language spoken through the body. What is this? You know very well, when we speak, our body also speaks. Our eyes speak, our eyebrows speak, nose speaks, mouth, a corner of a mouth, the corner of a mouth speaks something. And we understand not merely the language, we understand the person. We understand the message in its entirety. So the second method is body language. Second tool of communication is body language. Very important. Important because a good communication happens when somebody is able to put together his language and body language. If language and body language move in different ways, different paths, the message fails. Significant thing for the speaker or the communicator is he should know that he needs to match his language with his body language. Well, the third tool of communication is personality. What is personality? Well, personality is an image that is created in the mind of the listener. It is an image in the mind of the listener about the speaker. He feels the speaker is good, he is trustworthy, he is believable, he is honest. And when listener believes in the speaker's personality, greater communication happens. So this personality naturally has to be developed by the speaker. He has to develop it, he has to cultivate it, and he has to pass on that message to the speaker, to the listener over a long time, that he is trustworthy. So this development of a personality on the part of the speaker, wherein he can communicate to his audience his honesty, or wherein his personality itself communicates to the speaker his honesty, his sincerity, and his commitment to certain fundamental values, makes his personality. See, for example, Gandhi was able to communicate to millions of people even when there was no media, there was no mass media, there was absolutely no electronic media at all. And in the absence of media, when there were no newspapers, when there was no transport, communication, Gandhi was able to communicate to people. How did he communicate? He communicated through his personality. When he lifted a piece of salt in Dandi, he communicated to people. That was a metaphor or an image. So this is the third way in which communication happens, or a leader communicates to his audience, or a mature person communicates to his audience. So communication happens in three ways: language, body language, and personality. We need to know that a fine-tuned and a very powerful communication happens when a speaker knows all these and is able to put together his language, his body language, and his personality. When he is able to put all these things together, a power is generated. He is able to generate power. And that is what makes him a leader. That is what makes him a better person. That is what makes him a happier person. This is what is the meaning of communication and even the objective of communication, that is development of an individual or a personal power. Well then, let me tell you one more thing. Communication is not developing everybody. Development of communication skill is not the development of all human beings in the same mold. No, it's not that. It's not the development of all people to speak in a same way or with same body language or with same kind of similar kind of personalities. No, not that. It is the development of authentic personalities, authentic individuals. What we need to see here is development involves his inner authentic qualities. In communication skill, development means the sharpening of his inner genius, which is authentic and which is a rare gift with him. Mind you, Hitler was a great communicator and Gandhi was also. But these two were two very different kinds of geniuses, focused on two very different kinds of objectives. So when we talk about personality development, we know this. That is, individuals are different, people are different, their objectives are different, and naturally their communication styles also will be different, and that communication has to be very authentic. So this authenticity of his communication, the development of his authenticity of communication is what is focused in the development of communication skills. In fact, this is the parameter in which we operate when we talk about communication skills.